welcome to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. Thank you for joining us as we bring you key stories shaping Nigeria today. We will begin with a brief review of the newspaper headlines and then move into our main discussion for today. So you can join the conversation by liking, following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Kende Bodering.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
All right, so joining us this morning is Innocent Aduniga, is a journalist and also a public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so very much, Innocent, and good morning. Welcome to Enterprise Friday today.
The pleasure is mine. Good morning.
Good morning.
Valentine is looming.
Yes, it's real. All right, so let's kickstart today with the Vanguard newspaper.
Right.
We have the big story. 2027, majority of senators want real-time results transmission. And that's coming from Abaribe, Ningi Ume, and others.
Okay, the top strip we have how Nigeria can move from potential to economic prosperity, and this is coming from Adedeji.
U.S. President acknowledges Nigeria's first lady as respected woman. I hope this is not an offshoot of the $9 million US propaganda money that is working. Right. Yes.
Okay, we also have soldiers came 10 hours after terrorists had killed scores. This is coming from the village head there in Kwara State.
All right, so Innocent, without wasting so much time, 2027, majority of senators want real-time results transmission.
Yeah.
It was so bad, and Nigerians are really not happy. Under the 10th Assembly with Senate President Godswill Akpabio stating all sorts of things like we do not read, we do not understand what's happening in Nigeria. He stated, as according to what he had to say there, that they did not remove any electronic transmission. It's been there with the Electoral Act, and that is what they have maintained. Rather, what they said they would not go with is a 360 degree of electronic voting in Nigeria come 2027. What's your take? Is this a Trojan horse to bring back President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by fire and by force by the 10th Assembly? What's your take on this, please?
You mean the 10th Assembly? I'd like you to give me the question again very briefly.
Yes, so the question is, what's your take on the senators of the 10th Assembly not okaying a complete e-transmission of results come 2027?
Oh, okay, I get you now. Can you hear me very clearly?
Very well,
Yes.
we can hear you. Yep.
Okay, so it's been in the news, both in rumor and in fact, but for a government that rode into power on the back of how do I put it, implicating controversies, it will be an opportunity for them to clear the air ahead of another elections they are now in charge of, or going to be in charge of. You know, so I think Nigerians are hoping that afflictions does not repeat itself in the form of technical glitches, Henry, if you get what happened the last time. So I would have thought that the senators would redeem themselves. I don't. Politically speaking, he is the primus inter pares, the first among equals. But there should be conscientious senators, legislators who can oppose the non-implementation, who can insist on implementation. Otherwise, I will tell you what has been making the round, Henry.
Okay.
And this is my example. For like 28 years, Delta State have voted only PDP. Dito, Enugu, what other state, you know. So for these defections to be going around, the people are thinking aloud that there will be, I mean, if the Delta governor, Oborewori, 3 senators, 6 members of House of Rep, the Delta State members of the House of Assembly, local government chairman, if you compare that to the total voters in Delta or Akwa Ibom or Enugu that are core PDP states, you are looking at barely less than 100 voters compared to the total millions and thousands of voters per state. So people are thinking that this electronic will not be passed because, take it from me, the next election in 2027 is likely to be the most rigged elections in Nigeria's record, to justify that the principal officers haven't defected, every other people defected. And you know what we call structures are just a rigging network, you know. So maybe this can happen undetected on the electronic, but the electronic voting portal will help minimize some of these negative hypotheses we're analyzing.
Negative hypothesis there.
Seriously, that word itself can explain it all. Okay, so now how does this affect trust in future elections? Yes, how does this affect the future?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very strong question. Trust is at the center of the matter. And lately, Nigerians, I don't know, may soon be attacking their representative.
Yeah.
You are from Ogun East, you are from Gombe South, you are from Benue West, or whatever, and your senator sits in these chambers silent. It breeds a paradox of representation. The masses crave electronic voting. They have representatives in that electoral college who can speak their voices, who are not speaking their voices. That's why I said it's beyond the Senate president now. If Henry Igwebike is, you have your reps from your state, you will wonder why your rep is quiet like at this time when his people want electronic voting. And Henry, it's nearly a year. I don't know which House of Rep member or state member has gone to have a town hall with his constituents. I don't know if you are abreast of that now. So it's like as soon as these people win elections, they are divorced from their constituents, and then they make an Olympic triumphant visit a few days in 4 years to their election. Banking on bags of, you know. So the question of trust lingers. It's a big hangover that has refused to go away. A representative is to communicate the needs of their constituent on the floor of the Assembly or Senate or wherever. So trust deficit is out. It is even looking like a battle between the elected and their constituents. You know, like what can we do as electorates? The majority can have their way, minority will have their say. I don't think they're thinking about trust at this time.
You can see that again.
Yeah, it's not the order of the day as we speak. And Nigeria, unfortunately, has become a mockery to the rest of to other African countries, really, especially Ghana. They have so mocked our democracy. You know, a woman the other day was speaking to the fact that it's only in Nigeria you would see a politician who is with Party A, all right? When he is not in power, he will now defect to Party B that is in power and say, please forgive me for everything I have said against you. And Party B will now admit the person, give the person a juicy, you know, position, right? Now, when Party A wins, everyone on Party B will leave Party B to Party A and same circle. And one would ask, is this democracy?
Game,
or we're just playing with ourselves here? Also, I'd love equally to do a follow-up question.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Innocent?
Yes, go on.
Yes. So let's equally take a look at other matters here. U.S. President acknowledges Nigeria's First Lady as respected woman. So our First Lady left Nigeria and attended a prayer meeting in United States of America while people have been killed here in Kwara State. Very so funny. And while she was seated there, President Donald J. Trump recognized her. So the big question, Innocent, is Why do you think those in power, especially with this administration, keep playing the ostrich scheme of hiding their head below the sand when the whole body is exposed in the open?
Anyway, the global cliche is talk is cheap. So anybody can pay anybody compliments.
Yeah.
So the fact that Donald Trump acknowledges the First Lady does not take away Nigeria's negative reputation on the global scale. It's normal. Even if you are fighting with a man, sometimes you see his wife, you will acknowledge her greeting.
Sure.
Those are the soft gender, Henry. You don't muzzle match them. If after Donald Trump, the United States president, saluted and acknowledged our respected and honorable First Lady, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu shows up, his greetings will be different. It will be stop diplomatic engagement, because the Nigerian matter is more discussed on the floor of the American Senate than on the floor of the Nigerian Senate, Henry.
Yes.
Like your colleague asked, Nigerian senators, House of Rep, House of Assembly, are no longer standing on the trust of their constituents. The sovereignty, which belongs to the masses, has been trampled on. So that they need an anchor. They are all now standing on the mandate, not on the trust. So yes, the First Lady just got a courtesy message. The one that is appropriate for a president to accord the wife of his counterpart. So, and all of these are ego massage. It's not beyond that. Let's not blow it out of proportion. If the wife of Vladimir Putin visits Donald Trump, he will receive her and accord her courtesy. He has nothing to do with her. It is when he meets his international counterpart that you will see. I mean, you see what happens at UNG, United Nations General Assembly. Nobody is greeting wives of presidents there. They are taking diplomatic matters head on. So if Donald Trump has greeted the wife of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so what? That doesn't change. Look, did you hear what Abdul Razak said in Kwara? That there are senseless killings going on that are inexcusable. If Mrs. First Lady visits him, he will greet her and continue Kwara administration.
Yeah.
So, Henry, I think maybe, PR consultants need to eat.
Yeah, definitely.
So they can communicate and blow these greetings in the direction of that is sympathetic to the aspiration of their paymaster.
All right.
Well, I feel even if the U.S. president, commended First Lady of Lagos State,
Of Nigeria.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Oluremi Tinubu. I feel to him, it's just like what Mr. Innocent has said. It does not really change anything, right? And thank God he even he made an instances, if you see the person's wife, it's normal,
it's courtesy,
right? But that one does not mean that the plan U.S. President Donald Trump has does not mean it has not changed. He still have that plans, but for the fact that he saw, the president's wife does not change anything. So thank you so much for your take on that.
Yes.
And Henry, do you think
let's move to
further?
the Daily Trust newspaper and that transition from the president's wife visiting America for prayers rather than organizing a prayer for Nigeria in distress. Seriously. And have leaders of other countries come and help us pray. Let's move to Defense Headquarters admits U.S. troops in Nigeria. Innocent Adolugba, just like what we said, for the fact that President Donald J. Trump noticed Oluremi Tinubu,
yes.
That did not stop him from sending troops to Nigeria. What's your take on this? Is democracy under threat as we speak?
Well, I think it will be on record in the history of Nigeria that it was during the tenure of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the man with the mandate, that Nigeria became an white country. We used to hear of occupied West Bank, occupied Crimea, occupied Vietnam. Sadly, Nigeria, the giant of Africa, is now an occupied country, Henry. And rightly so. Because, I mean, you cannot fault the occupation now. Chino Achebe will tell you in Things Fall Apart that anybody who returns from the farm with rotten firewood should know the list of guests he can expect. You know. So, and the balance is there. As you make your bed, so you lie on it. A lot of people are disappointed with the United States of American troops. They even wish they have done more than this, Henry. Some people think the American troops are too slow. You know. So, but as it were, America is treading with along the diplomatic lines. And ISIS, Boko Haram are trying not to stop. I mean, look at the news in Kwara here and there. So it's welcome, because if the Nigerian security is not defending Nigerians, lots of helpless Nigerians are happy with this development. I'm telling you that some are disappointed that they wish the American troops become our troops and go through here and sanitize the country. So it's a political deficit to the present administration, where electronic voting is passed and rigging is minimized. This pegs back the winning chances of this government, Henry.
Well.
It pegs back their winning chances. You know, these are the things that an opposing government can sell in their manifesto to gain traction with the electorates who are receiving almost zero representation at this time, Henry. So, I mean, it's a political deficit. It is setting the achievements of this administration backward and making them not look able to straight victory in 2027 if the opposition gets themselves well organized, Harry.
Well, I just hope that opportunity is there for the opposition, because as we speak now, they are gasping for breath because everything has been taken away from them. PDP, the court just allowed the Wike block of the PDP as against Makinde's block. So, which means that PDP might be in disarray till 2027. So, if this is happening to the opposition, you could imagine what 2027 and other years would look like. But Innocent will be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Soldiers arrived 10 hours after terrorist struck, village head says. In a beat, Enterprise Friday, it is not going anywhere.
We'll be right back.
Thank you so very much for being back, and if you just joined us, Enterprise Friday it is, reaching you from Enterprise Television to our conversation for today. The village head of Woro in Kaiama local government area of Kwara State, Umar Salihu, has alleged that security forces arrived nearly 10 hours after terrorists attacked his community, leaving scores of residents dead and homes destroyed. Speaking in an interview, Salihu said the attack began around 5 p.m. and lasted through the night, despite repeated distress calls to authorities. According to him, soldiers only arrived at about 3 a.m. the following day, by which time the attackers had already fled.
Very true. Now, he noted that there was no military engagement or air interdiction during the assaults. Salihu explained that Woro had been left vulnerable after soldiers previously stationed in the area were withdrawn following an earlier attack on the base. He identified the assassinats as members of the Mamuda terrorist group, alleging that the violence was triggered by the community's refusal to accept their ideology. Now, he also dismissed claims of religious conflict, stating that most of the victims were Muslims.
All right, let's get talking. Innocent Adoluwa is still here with us. Thank you so very much, Innocent. Truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
My pleasure to be here.
Yes. Yeah, so Innocent, let's talk about this radical movement of Islamic groups, Mamuda, hoping to take over Kwara at a time like this. Now, this is not an attack on Christian communities this time. It is an attack on Muslim communities. So it's like Muslim on Muslim violence at this point. So what's your take on the ideology of these criminals, these terrorists, whose intention is not even for conversion any longer, but to do whatever it is the ideology looks like? What's your take, Innocent?
Well, first of all, we cannot default religion from what is going on. The prime suspects are ISIS and Boko Haram. Those are Islamic organizations. So the narrative of genocide on Christians, for me, remains. So it's appalling, Harry. If you look at the report, even though the police spokesperson, Adito in Nigeria, Adeyemi, said the police are mobilizing, there are gory sites, Woro, local government area. The villagers are in disarray. Some people flee into the bush, not knowing they are going to be the attacks. And there are footage of on their local television where these are lying on the ground in their own blood, some with their hands tied, some houses are being burned, and this is what we've talked about, the American truth, is the outcome of security lapses. Nigeria has a lot of ungoverned territory that these people are taking advantage of. And I would always tell you, why are all local governments in Nigeria not carrying out drone surveillance? Drone surveillance. When these people attack, they are not caught. We can see where they are headed. So but anyway, even the governor, Abdulrazak, has said that the attack is a cowardly expression of frustration by terrorist cells. And it's not looking good. And one of the senators or lawmakers from Kwara, Saidu Baba Ahmed, has also told the reporters that the gunmen rounded up residents, found their hands behind their backs, and killed them. So this is the definition of genocide by Islamic inclined groups, ISIL and Boko Haram. So the rhetoric of Muslims being killed or not remains. The killing is being initiated by Muslims. So that is where my narrative rests. This is not balancing killing Christians with killing Muslims. More so, lives are also being taken.
Wow, last year was about the killings of Christians, and so isn't that okay? Let me just point this out to you, Mr. Innocent. Is it that we had numerous reports on the killings of Christians? That was last year, and now in Kwara State we see that they're killing Muslims. Now, do you think they are more of like taking it from one stage to the other, since they killed some Christians last year? Do you think this year is going to be more of, which we don't pray for, it's going to be more of like, okay, targeted towards the Muslims?
Is this an ideology to balance the equation, such that the international community will not see it as if Christians are being targeted?
Yeah.
Well, I think I spoke to that in my earlier response.
Okay.
I don't know. We know Muslim terrorist groups in Nigeria: ISIS, ISWAP, Boko Haram, all of them. Do you know any Christian terrorist group in Nigeria? You know, so let's not be comical and playing God with human lives. You just look at the narration. You tie people's hand behind them, burn them, butcher them, to justify what? That it's not only Christians that are being killed. It is wrong for a Christian to take a Christian life. It is wrong for a Christian to take a Muslim life. It is wrong for a Muslim to take a Christian life. It is wrong for a Muslim to take a Muslim life. They've committed murder, arson, disturbing the peace, and when they catch them, the government tells you they repented. So the government is propagating what is ongoing rampantly, you know. And Kwara State have been one of the loyalists to the northern traditional administration under the Sultanate of the Sultan of Sokoto. There are separatist groups in Taraba, in Benue. These traditional rulers sometimes show dissent to that stool. For them, their chiefdom, if I should use that word, is within their ethnic enclave. They don't need to travel 11, 12 hours to go and bow to the stool at Sokoto. But Kwara is loyal. So you wonder, what's their offense? A descendant of Uthman Danfodio is the emir in Kwara. So you wonder, what do they want? It is for the government, Henry, to transparently and objectively purge the country of all these demented dissidents.
But do you think, sorry for interjecting there, Innocent, do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the gusto to do that sincerely? Do you think he has that thing, that aha moment in him to carry out a counter-attack on this terrorist and flush them out?
I will say it like this. Amidst the manifesto of President Tinubu, he is running into his third year because 2 years have gone. You know, so within that time, has any IDP camp been closed and the people return to their place? Within that time, has any of the occupied villages by these terrorist groups been purged so villagers can return? Within this time, how many arrests have been made? Within this time. So if you look at my questions, they add up to tell you that one thing missing with the President Tinubu administration is the genuine political will and intentional competence to curb insecurity. And like I will say, the deficit of any administration is a plus for the opposition to get closer to victory on election, barring rigging and the operation of electronic voting.
Okay, so why does Nigeria's security response remain largely reactive? Because from the story now, they came after.
Please say again.
Okay, I said why. I'm asking, why does Nigeria's security response remain largely reactive, based on what we read from our main conversation?
Did you get the question?
Well, the country is different. We're in dire straits. We're in dire straits. We are not at war like Sudan or South Sudan, but within Nigeria there are refugees, millions of internally displaced people. People who should farm in Plateau are not farming. People who should farm in Benue are not farming. People who should farm in Taraba are not farming. And so food is at its highest cost. It's not going down. So if a basket of tomato 9,000 now sells for 70,000 and drops to 65,000, you say it's not going down. It's a far cry from 9,000 where it took flight, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. No, but it's a mystery to the ordinary eye, including myself commenting. Because in the days of President Obasanjo, Udi in Delta, Takibiam in Benue, couldn't contain all of these insurgencies. In the days when President Muhammad Buhari was a military president, he drove some of these people. Henry, there are the Matsaisine and all of that.
Yeah.
So we no longer see such genuine political will. One of the principal functions of any government is the protection and security of human lives. That is absent now. Even as we talk of this insurgency, we have not delved into banditry, open kidnapping, some even in the southeast, not just in the north, let's be open. We are just lucky that maybe here in Lagos, across the Djibouti, but there is a semblance of a calm. You know, the country is in a restive state, and the masses are losing trust in the government.
The masses are losing trust in the government, obviously, and we can say that. But despite all of this, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, lots of people would say, is very so fixated on playing politics rather than governance at this point. But what's your take, really, Innocent Aduluba? As a student of leadership, it's our desire to possibly do better than what our leaders are doing today. Do you think we would ever get it right in this country with what our current leaders are doing to politics in Nigeria, to democracy in Nigeria? Do you think we would ever get it right, or do we see Nigeria slowly going down the slippery slope to damnation? What's your take?
You said, do I think that what?
Do you think Nigeria would ever get it right with the kind of leaders, knowing that the current leaders we have all polluted the pool?
Well, there are no leaders in Nigeria. Take that from me. There are only political office holders. A leader is different from a political office holder. Chinua Achebe is not in any political position. He's a thought leader, Henry. Even to a large extent, Professor Wole Soyinka is a thought leader. So, I mean, I'm looking for the leaders. Maybe Governor Alex Oti, I can point at him as a leader. You know, a leader is the one that commands voluntary followership without inducements. To some extent, I will look at Sowore as a leader. Maybe a greater extent, I will point at Peter Obi as a leader. You know, there are, when you see, Nigeria is, if it were possible, we declare vacancy and look for leaders. You know, because if you look at in the days of yore, there were leaders everywhere. If Ganifa Wahimi, that's a leader. You know, even the leaders we have now may not be allowed to go to hold public offices. If you look at the intricacies playing out. So I don't think we have leaders. We should not approximate someone who won an election as a leader. The Enugu government, Mba, is the Enugu state governor, becomes a leader. You know, he's a governor. There is a dictionary definition of a governor that suits him well. I don't now know if the definition of a leader is appropriate to him. You know, to a large extent, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a leader. He's a big political leader with cult following. What remains to be seen if his leadership is beneficial to the masses and the network of people who you know, leadership is not by inducements. We have lots of Nigerian leaders who are thriving by inducement. Once they are no longer occupying where they are, that leadership network crumbled. So, and it's because we cannot get new sets of leaders, politically speaking. If you want new sets of leaders, public office holders, they need to be rich or become godsons to godfathers. And that route does not bridge leadership. It sustains the political cabal and the godfatherism network. Henry, you cannot use your salary and house rent and investment to buy a political form now. Are you guaranteed you will win? So how do you emerge as a nouveau leader, the way the French will have nouveau riche? How do you emerge? The bourgeois has a wide net in Agege local government area. The son of the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Obasa, is already the local government chairman. Sons, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is grooming his son in the nursery, in the political nursery. So, if anybody is contesting if anybody is contesting for what the son of Mr. Nyesom Wike is contesting, they will lose.
Definitely.
So Henry, the leadership question is a big one. I don't know. I don't think I have a solution for where I sit. As long as they are going to pass through the political route, it's a problem.
A very big problem it is. It's so very unfortunate that we are saying this and we are normalizing it in Nigeria. So bad. If 170 persons were killed in a decent climb around the world, flags would have been flown at half staff. In Nigeria, our president feels he has sent soldiers to do what exactly? And that is the question that we have. At the Australia beach, where some Islamic jihadists, the father and the son, killed about 15 persons. The country was they were really not feeling good about it. It was a national emergency.
Yes, it was.
International emergency, it was. In Nigeria, 170 Nigerians have been killed. Not cows, not goats, but human beings. And we all feel it's okay for us to just talk about it while those in power feel they've sent soldiers and everyone wants to go about their normal business. This is not a country. This is not a democracy that we're practicing. And certainly, we do not have the right leaders currently. That's all we have for today. Thank you so very much, Innocent Adeloba. Truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.
The pleasure is mine. We just continue with lamentations.
Lamentation it is. No actions afterwards. But that's our time for today. Love to say thank you. Please do well to follow us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Kehinde Bodun.
God bless you.
God bless Nigeria.
Bye-bye.
Do have a lovely weekend.
Bye.